Belgium is today a beautiful country in Western Europe with about 11.7 million people living in an area of only around 30,700 square kilometers. And its capital, called Brussels, also works as the center for both the European Union and NATO. So even though the country is small in size, it plays an important political and economic role. If we go all the way back to the beginning, long before there was anything called Belgium, the area was already inhabited in the Stone Age, more than 10,000 years ago after the last ice age, when hunters and gatherers moved in as the ice melted. And around the year 500 BC, Celtic tribes lived there, especially a group the Romans later called the Belgi, and this is actually where the name Belgium comes from. Because when the Roman general Julius Caesar conquered the area in the year 57 BC, he wrote in his texts that the Belgi were among the bravest tribes in Gaul. And after that, the region became part of the Roman Empire for almost 400 years. Under Roman rule, roads, towns, and trading centers were built. And cities like Tongeren and Tournai began as Roman settlements. And the region was organized as a Roman province, where Latin was used for administration and Roman law and culture spread. But around the year 400 AD, the Western Roman Empire started to collapse. And Germanic tribes, especially the Franks, took control of the area, and it became part of the Frankish kingdom under rulers such as Clovis at the end of the 400s. In the 800s, the region became part of the large Frankish Empire under Charlemagne. And when his empire was divided in 843 by the Treaty of Verdun, the land that is now Belgium was split between the western and eastern parts of the empire, which later helped shape the language and cultural divide between the French-speaking south and the Dutch-speaking north. Even though at that time there were no clear national identities, only local rulers and small territories. During the Middle Ages, the area was divided into several small states, such as the County of Flanders, the Duchy of Brabant, and the Prince-Bishopric of Liege. And especially Flanders became one of the richest regions in Europe in the 1200s and 1300s. Because cities like Bruges and Ghent earned huge amounts of money from textile production and trade with England, France, and German trading cities. And in the 1300s, Ghent had more than 50,000 people living there, making it one of the largest cities north of the Alps. In the 1400s, most of these territories were united under the Dukes of Burgundy, especially Philip the Good, who ruled from 1419 to 1467 and brought together large parts of what we now call the Low Countries, which made the region more politically united than before, even though it was still not an independent nation. And when the last Burgundian heir died, the land passed to the Habsburg family through marriage, and in the 1500s, it came under the Spanish branch of the Habsburg dynasty. This meant that in the 1500s and 1600s, the area was known as the Spanish Netherlands. And during this time, religious conflicts between Protestants and Catholics divided the region, because the northern provinces rebelled against Spain and later became what we now know as the Netherlands, while the southern part, which mostly matches present-day Belgium, stayed Catholic and under Spanish control. And this division became permanent after many years of war in the 1600s. In 1713, after the War of the Spanish Succession, the region was given to the Austrian branch of the Habsburg family and became known as the Austrian Netherlands. And during this time, there was relative stability and economic growth. But in 1794, French revolutionary troops invaded the area, and it was directly added to France under the French Republic and later under Napoleon, and French law, including the Napoleonic Code, was introduced. After Napoleon was defeated in 1815, the major European powers decided at the Congress of Vienna to unite the former northern and southern Netherlands into one country, the Kingdom of the Netherlands under King William I, with the idea of creating a strong state to stand against France. But the differences between the Protestant Dutch-speaking North and the Catholic French-speaking and partly industrial South led to tensions. And in 1830, an uprising broke out in Brussels that quickly turned into a revolution. And in 1831, Belgium was recognized as an independent state with a constitutional monarch, King Leopold I. In the second half of the 1800s, Belgium became one of the first countries on the European continent to industrialize, especially in Wallonia, where coal mines and steel production made the country economically strong. And at the same time, one of the most controversial chapters in its history began: the colonization of Congo. Because in 1885, King Leopold II made a huge area in Central Africa, more than 2 million square kilometers, his personal property under the name Congo Free State. And there, the local population was subjected to extreme exploitation in the search for rubber and ivory. And historians estimate that millions of people died due to forced labor disease and violence, until international criticism became so strong that in 1908 the Belgian state took control, and the territory became Belgian Congo. During the First World War in 1914, Germany invaded Belgium as part of its attack on France. And even though Belgium was neutral, large parts of the country were occupied for 4 years, and the city of Ypres became the site of some of the most brutal battles of the war, where hundreds of thousands of soldiers died. And in the Second World War, Belgium was again invaded by Germany in 1940 and occupied until 1944. After the war, the period of decolonization began. And in 1960, Congo became independent and Belgium lost its largest colony. And at the same time, internal language tensions between Dutch-speaking people in the north and French-speaking people in the south developed into a political struggle over power and resources. And from the 1970s onward, Belgium was gradually transformed into a federal state, where power was shared between regions and language communities. And today, the country officially consists of 3 regions: Flanders, Wallonia, and Brussels, as well as 3 language communities: Dutch-speaking, French-speaking, and German-speaking. Today, Belgium is a wealthy country with a GDP per person of more than $45,000. The port of Antwerp is one of the largest in Europe with over 200 million tons of goods each year. And Brussels hosts more than 40,000 employees in EU institutions. And even though the country still has political tensions between North and South, and has had periods without a full government, such as when it went 541 days without one between 2010 and 2011, the state continues to function through its federal and regional systems, and Belgium today is a multilingual and economically strong country shaped by more than 2,000 years of changing rulers, wars, trade, industry, and political agreements.